Afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello, YouTube. It's been a minute. It's your old pal Dustin coming to you live with Zephyr Drone Studios. We've got so much fun stuff to show you today. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Bo Van Buren. Bo, hey, buddy. What's going on?
Oh, tired.
You're tired?
It's been a long week.
How are you tired?
And next week's going to be another long one. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Next week's going to be fun for you guys. I am quite jealous. Going to be a blast. Tell us what you're doing.
Joshua from our team and I will be going to the Smart Community STEM Camp in Fredericksburg, Virginia, hosted by the University of Mary Washington by Smart Community STEM through George Hinckley.
Via George Hinckley. That sounds like the t-shirt that Michael Scott had everyone wear for the fun run for rabies awareness.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that's going to be cool. Get to show the simulator off, have a bunch of folks get to try it out. I know the kids always really like it and learn a whole lot and get to develop their skills with it. So that's going to be pretty cool. How many years have you been doing this?
Not as long as Kyle has been.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Kyle went to the very first one, I believe. And on top of that, he's been to, aside from last year, I think all of them. Oh, so wow. I think I've done 4 of them. This will be my 5th, I think. I have to count my shirts.
Yes, count your shirts. Your shirts and your blessings.
Well, they do a different shirt every year for the staffers. That's pretty cool. So.
Aw. Hey, Stu, welcome in.
Pretty soon it's going to be all I need to wear.
Yeah. Eventually have one for every day of the week, plus our extra life shirts. Really, what else do we need? Other than these, to let people know who and what we are.
Who and what?
Who and what? This one, honestly, this and my Pilot Institute shirt, big shout out to our pals at Pilot Institute. They are literally my 2 favorite shirts.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I look good in black. I got a real Johnny Cash thing going.
It is slimming.
It is slimming. And I think if you go back and look at the first stream that we did to this one being number 36, there's been a reduction in Dustin face. I'm very proud of my weight loss journey. Chief amongst this, I will tell you, the big point of pride for me is like these hats. I was on the last snap, and now I'm 3 snaps in. I didn't realize how fat my head was.
I can't wear any of the snapback hats for ours. They don't come in a size large enough.
I was about out. I had just about busted out. I think if I'd have like gritted really hard, probably could have done it.
Oh man, I just have a cavernous dome.
I also had an expansive melon, and it's less now, and I'm really proud of that. It feels really good.
Proud of you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Speaking of being proud, got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about this week. We've got some flying to do. We're going to take everybody with us to the beach. We feel like everybody deserves a little bit of beach time.
It's true.
So we're going to take you inside the sim and fly around the beach scenario, show you what's what in beautiful Miami, Florida. Aside from that, we've got a few news stories. Some interesting things have developed since last week. We'll do another quick shout out to some of our partners and some of how that's been going. Really happy with how that's been developing over the last week since kind of taking on that role. That's been really fun. Big shout out also before we move on to the folks for APSA out in Fort Lauderdale. Brandon is currently down there manning our booth. So if you're in that area and looking to find out more about the sim, make sure you swing by and talk to Brandon. He would absolutely love to talk to you and show off the simulator for you and your cohort.
Ooh, cohort.
Yeah.
Cohort.
Use my big words. Anything else top of mind for you, Bo, before we launch into this?
It's hot.
It's freaking hot. I will tell you this much. Everybody, I think, knows, if you've seen past streams, you know I'm a big weather nerd. Yesterday, I shared some images from here in Boston, and outside looked like sunny Arrakis from Dune. It was orange and terrifying. I'm not sure what portal opened up from what hell, but I'm assuming whatever is burning in Canada is rich in fuel, because holy cow, holy smokes, was it smoky outside. Thank you, I did it.
Awful.
But no, they said the air quality was so bad, had you stood outside all day, would have been the equivalent of smoking 50 packs of cigarettes, or 50 cigarettes. So
50 packs.
Not 50 packs. 2.5 packs. 50 darts in particular, which is a lot. Even when I was like a full-fledged smoker, I don't think I ever got to 2.5 packs in a day. Thankfully, life's never been that stressful. Aside from that, though, so if you are outside, especially in the Northeast, make sure you're trying to stay inside as much as you can. Wear a mask.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate. Get you some Pocari Sweat.
I am a big fan.
I know this.
Big fan.
Big fan. Okay, so you know what? Let's get into it. I've got some interesting stuff to go over. Let me find my first story, get that queued up, because this is really, I think, pretty cool.
Why don't you go ahead and get that first story queued up?
I'm doing it now. Where are we? There's the Brink one. Okay, here we go. Ready? This week, in the news, a drone was used to warn a surfer, which I think is just one of the coolest things in the entire world. A photographer and pilot was over at the beach in Santa Cruz and happened to spot a pretty large shark. Apparently sharks are not uncommon to that area, but there was a surfer well within the mix. And because of this brave pilot getting down close to the surfer and revving his rotors, the surfer was able to look over, spot the drone, and look down and saw the shark and was able to navigate himself back to safety. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Soul Surfer, where the girl loses her arm to a shark and then overcomes adversity to become a professional surfer. But we don't need another one. One's good.
But I'm not a fan of demonizing sharks either.
Sure. The sharks are just living their life.
You are in their domain.
Sure. Yeah, you're in their house. I read somewhere too that
it's like DoorDash. It's like DoorDashing a snack to a shark.
It's really teasing if you want to get real.
But don't be wrong. I mean, I've always thought it'd be neat to surf.
Sure.
But like, rocks happen. You know. There are worse things than sharks in the water, I will say.
Oh, sure. And look, I'm built like a seal, so I've done a lot of body surfing, and probably one of the most fun times was in St. John, in one of the bays down there. I got
St. James is the other one. Is the one I
right. One of the saints. You know, those guys apparently really like beautiful places. Anyway, I got tossed up onto shore in front of these two women that were convinced I was a gift from Poseidon, and I had to scurry away. Mostly because the wave was pretty violent, and I almost lost my swim trunks. So, what I can say there is just be mindful when you're in the water.
That's just Mother Earth getting a little frisky.
Spatial awareness is always a good thing. On to some other drone industry news. Brink has now raised $125 million with plans to put their 911 emergency drones in as many places as possible. This is essentially they're expanding their Seattle factory. They are with participation from Index Ventures and, no kidding, their name is Figma. Figma CEO Dylan Field. This is a huge capital injection for them, working with Motorola in their public safety arena and looking at being the end-all be-all with becoming the cornerstone of emergency drones.
Right. So this is them pushing hard into DFR.
100%. Yeah, that's the big thing. And our friend Sally French over at the Drone Girl was actually able to pull an interview with David Benowitz and pull up some really good information. I recommend everybody look up the article themselves and do the deep dive. 80,000 police and fire roofs in the U.S. That's their goal, is 80,000, and it is looking more and more realistic to them. The thing is that they're trying to figure out now is logistics with those different entities to figure out essentially floor space over the next 3 years and how they're going to accommodate this. But yeah, they've set the time limit 3 to 5 years. That's pretty I don't know, to me that seems yeah. That's a little, I wouldn't say aggressive is the word, but definitely optimistic.
Now the question is whether or not the legislation will keep up with the product. It's always been the problem in the drone industry is the legislation and the rulings and stuff like that, like the guidelines and stuff get formed after things are already progressed past a certain point. So it's just the technology being so emergent is outpacing what we can put into rule. So
well, that's always been the case with any kind of bureaucracy. It is in total reactionary.
Yeah.
Whether it was the industrial boom of the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Well, to me, the thing is that people haven't been exactly quiet about the desires that they have for, credentialing and why, a lot of people in the space are just why don't I have to have a set number of physical flight hours on a drone before I get 107? But that's because 107 itself is kind of an afterthought for drones. It's it's mostly pilot stuff, pilot stuff, what temperature will my props freeze at whatever elevation and stuff like that. So it's pretty wild.
Well, Michael Hill talked about that in Houston about how essentially credentialing is one thing, but then rounding out the rest of that pilot knowledge, and pilots are screaming for some kind of set standard. And we Zephyr has been very vocal about how it should be more than just physical flight time, but like
Mhm.
simulator flight time, because what pilot doesn't have to work within a simulator before they become a licensed pilot?
Yeah, it's true.
And again, I think eventually it will happen. I don't know that this current administration has the wherewithal to implement something like that. I think they're too busy um, chasing down other things. But I do think that as cooler heads prevail and people that are more big picture minded start to make some of these decisions, because this is obviously not going anywhere, that we'll see that implementation of actual credentialing. Speaking of which, this is from our friends over at Commercial UAV News. This is from Erin herself, Erin
Yep.
Williams.
Real quick, welcome in Heath, welcome in Alex.
Oh, hey guys. Sorry, it hadn't flipped back over to the screen just yet. Thursday already. That's right, Heath.
It is indeed Thursday, my dudes.
It is, my dudes. You are correct. Heath, hopefully Minnesota is avoiding some of this smoke. I imagine it's not.
I mean,
That you guys are right in line with
you guys are both. Well, it depends on where the fires are, I guess.
They're in Ontario, and essentially the way the jet stream is coming through.
Wow, traveling that far, really?
Yeah,
That's intense.
and it's a lot. It's like 800 acres.
I wonder if they're deploying drones.
So, last I heard, they are. They're using drones to try and map out where it's going and how far it's traveling.
Yeah.
They're running into a lot of problems with the heat from them and melting of rotors.
One of the cool things that we got to hazardous air quality. One of the things that we actually spoke with some folks about at one of the shows I went to, I think it's probably FRI, is how they're using like drones to deploy what they call dragon eggs for doing controlled burns.
Yes, you're right.
So it's pretty neat stuff. Once again, it's another random job you can have as a drone pilot.
Right.
What are you? I'm a dragon egg deployment drone specialist.
That sounds actually kind of awesome.
I know, right?
Do you have to strictly speak in High Valyrian while you pilot the drone and drop the dragon egg?
Either that or parcel tongue.
Pretend like I wouldn't say Dracarys every time I dropped one of those dragon eggs. Yeah, same Heath. Yeah, recommendations to not go outside, limit outdoor activity. My German Shepherd is pissed because we're not letting her outside very much during all this.
That's even more important for your animals. If you're in the northern part where these fires are happening, be good to your puppers.
Be mindful. Now, going back to regulations. Again, from CUAV News, our friend Aaron reporting on this. Commercial UAV industry, United States is coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the Part 107 BVOS notice. They have since ran past their deadline to get this going. It's well overdue. But on July 10th, there was some movement within the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, OIRA. They have essentially received the rule for its final approval. So it is making it through that blockchain. They expect the final due date decision to be done by the end of this month, but that 90-day review is still going to take place with the OIRA. So it is moving, but slowly. Again, incredibly reactionary, taking a while. Some possible outcomes that are expected, that they approve the rule exactly as it's submitted. The agencies agree to make a few edits, or they may pull it back completely. So we don't really know just yet.
It's one of these.
Take out. Yeah, essentially. I don't know. But it's at least with this different other regulatory agency, and we're waiting to see what happens. Hopefully they get the final rule done and then citation done, and then we can get the official legal publication.
Hopefully.
If they do have to redo it, then essentially it's a 60-day timeline to redo it and resubmit.
Okay.
So here's hoping.
That could be worse.
Airworthiness for this whole Part 108 BVOS. That would be big, especially for some of the industries we've been courting lately in energy, utility, construction,
Yep.
things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Drones as a first responder. 3 questions every police leader should ask before funding a program. We work heavily with public safety, especially in with police search and rescue, things of that nature. I would highly recommend this to all of our partners to go through this. Um, but essentially, the biggest things are becoming like aware of what it's like to be in the air and not treat it as a luxury, but treat it as more of a responsibility. Um, for officers to, they say for officers stop arriving blind. I take issue with that because it's difficult because of it. There is a, essentially to me, it's a little bit of gatekeeping because of price and access to drones, especially when our federal government is making the more accessible drones unavailable.
You know, I think that's a thing worldwide, though.
I'm sure it is to an extent.
I was speaking with a friend. I guess he's a friend now. A friend that I met at Exponential. His name is Kohei-san. Kohei was telling me that like the drone certification course specifically in Japan is like, I think he said 700,000 to 900,000 yen, which is like $4,500 to $6,000 here.
Wow,
that's a lot of money.
It
but
is.
yeah, that's wild.
One thing I will say though, and that not everybody understands, is that we do have a form of our sim that is available to the enthusiasts and hobbyists. Granted, it does not have nearly as many scenarios available within it,
That's
but
true.
it does at least grant a pilot access for not a lot of money to become at least somewhat familiar with the mechanics of flying and the muscle memory, because the drones they have access to, and as long as they have some controller, they can at least get down those basic movements. So to that point, I would say like there is an avenue by which that this could be done and achieved without having to spend a ton of money. And essentially understanding what those limitations are to pilots before they get involved in these programs. There's some other stuff in here. This all comes from Mike Moulton, who's from, he's a retired chief of police out of California. He's got 29 years of experience. And then Miriam McNabb, who we've spoken about before, wrote the article through this interview with Mike Moulton. I've seen Mike's name come up before. I'm sure Mike understands, those needs, but to say that they need hands-on experience before they get involved, like that's a really big ask. So I'm excited to see, if more of these places do implement our simulator and reduce the risk to their drone program through damage to person or property, how they would see that development take place. Through our case studies that we've seen through like Texas DPS, it is essential. It really is. There's just no way to get around it. We are becoming more and more essential every day.
Heath actually has a question.
Oh, yeah.
Relevant question to right now. Is there anything other than monitoring SAR that drones are doing in the wildfire situations, or is anything on the horizon that you are aware of, like water related things? When you say water related things, do you mean like how they use like that giant like B-52 bomber essentially to like drop water on fires, or like they use the helicopter to like scoop up water and then dump it on fire? Like I was saying before, for controlled wildfires, they use drones to deploy like those dragon eggs, which is like a small ball of chemicals that punctures after it's deployed and then starts a controlled fire, which is pretty neat. But as far as like putting fires out, I don't know that there's. I guess if you're really feeling spicy, you could take one of those tethered power wash drones.
So to that, The FAA has put out a notice recently with these wildfires in our neighbors to the north, and then a few in Minnesota and Montana. They're saying no. Please do not. The training's not there. It could lead to a spread of more hazardous chemicals if a drone is down and the battery explodes. They're worried about the loss of life or people putting themselves in harm's way. As some of these different fire and rescue teams are going in, they're utilizing some of their drone stuff. But the overarching conversation is no. Until more pilots are trained with payload and delivering water systems and understanding those height restrictions to get away from heat to not damage the drone itself.
Hey man, ag drone full of water might work. Although you'd need it to be filled with like a fire suppression drone that could shoot out the fire extinguisher foam.
I think it's there. I think use case is there, and I think that's the right mentality to have. But as of right now, the answer is a glaring no, surrounded by red flashing lights.
They could make it out of those the heat material for protecting solar, the lunar lander.
Exactly. Yeah, heat shield, like an actual carbon fiber heat shield on the bottom.
That'd be sick.
Just one other thing that I want to get into that I'm really excited about, going back to partnerships. Again, big shout outs to our friends at USI who've been doing some real great work in the education sector this week. Our friends at Pilot Institute that we've been working with very closely. We're excited for some more of those meetings. This is one that I'm reaching out to through TCB Drone Academy. They are putting together essentially a drone pilot program for professional aerial service, focusing on historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs. So really cool to see something so specialized and career-oriented that's going out to folks that don't get a whole lot of exposure in this sector. Leadership is not just about waiting for the opportunity, but seizing it and making ourselves available to them to help get more people, especially people of color or people coming from HBCUs, into that drone technology, entrepreneurship, and workforce development. That's really cool to see something being spearheaded this way. So excited to talk to them some more. Stephanie Rivers is launching the initiative, so incredible work. That's just really cool stuff. So.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I reckon, unless you got more news, that's
all the news that's fit to print for me.
So let's fly around in the simulator for a little bit.
Let's go. I'm ready to go to the beach. I need to get my hat. Okay, I'm ready for the beach. Let's go. Are you ready?
Not the sun hat.
Yeah, little Panama gym action. I did just move, so it's a little worse for the wear, but let's go.
Dustin Brewer straw hat confirmed.
Straw hat Goofy? Straw hat Luffy?
Nothing better than the beach in the evening, aside from the beach in the morning when there are less people there.
A golden hour at the beach, I love it. There are a few things in this world that make me as happy.
No worries, Heath. The dragon egg thing is one of those things where it's like, what are we doing here?
The dragon egg thing is like, what?
Oh, the dragon egg thing is it's something that, sorry, I got distracted because the sim started making noise when I was clicking on a thing, or when I was trying to click on a thing, even though I have all the sound turned off. Maybe a slight bug there, but what are you gonna do? So let's see. Are we scavenger hunting? Are we trying to do a racing circuit?
Oh, let's do a little racing circuit, and we can show people around the beach. I think that's a grand idea.
All right, what do I want to fly? We got the Lemur 2 in here now.
We do have some new drones added in.
I haven't flown a Lemur 2, so let's try the Lemur out.
True.
I love the name.
Mm-hmm. It's a neat, real. I like the Altel Evo Max too. I flew that a lot when I was in, or at least within the sim. I flew it in Detroit quite a bit.
See, I'm not used to the drones banking. I'm used to a much more rigid drone. I fly a Mavic Air 2 in my, can't say daily life because I don't fly it every day, but that is the drone that I have the most knowledge of.
I see. I do like the banking on it though. It does feel super realistic.
It reminds me.
Again,
it's gonna sound awful, but or not awful, but it's gonna age me. It reminds me of Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
I was gonna say it feels like Rogue Squadron. Yep, that's what it looks like. Man, it does look really good though.
And don't get me wrong, Rogue Squadron's got nothing on the newer one that they have. Just Squadrons.
Sure.
Game is beautiful, but I'm a racer at heart, which is why I'm excited for the new Star Wars racing game to come out. I'm gonna have to save some of my hard-earned schmeckles.
Heath said the Zabumafu 2 greater than Lemur 2.
Oh, I hit the pole.
Just a little love tap.
Where's my brake gorilla? Oh, apparently you only get one crash. I got a D. It's all right. But it's what I get. It's what I get for crashing.
But that's something good to point out too. So twofold here. Number one, being a training simulator, this is going to happen. Like,
oh yeah,
hitting obstacles, learning how to like crashes are going to happen. I think the important thing to remember here is that this is going to be as close to realistic flight as possible. So what you experience within the sim and what you experience in real life are going to be, kissing cousins. The difference is that you're not going to have to pick up the pieces of your Brinkley or 2 in the sim.
It's true.
It just loads back up. So it does offer you that ability to learn from those mistakes.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think
Alex said D is passing. D's get degrees was my mantra.
See, I always thought it was C's get degrees. But if it's D's get degrees, then I've been horribly mistaken for a long time.
You have to have a 2.0 typically to graduate, but it gets there.
I mean, I was a decently smart boy. I think my GPA, when everything got ruined for me by my job at the time, which was AutoZone, was I had a 3.735. Erect again.
Because I'm on a delay is why.
Okay, we're gonna retry that.
Okay. You got a little bit further this time, though.
Well, this was a different module. This is the second one, so it's supposed to be a little harder.
I see. But, again, I think it's important to show both success and failure, because we've never done this one before, and you're learning along with us, so you can see how Bo is able to adapt within the scenario and learn from these spots, figure out the proportions of his drone while he's navigating these.
It's true. One of the things I like to do with the summer camp kids is, like, the first thing that we have them do really is do something that's really hard in the simulator. And when they crash, because it's an inevitability,
sure.
Except for some of the kids that have been at previous camps, but like when you have them crash, they the immediate, like, kind of like what you said a long time or a couple of streams ago, the fear gets removed of
sure.
crashing, at least in the sim,
right?
They still need to know, like, I like D's gets degrees better though, Alex, because that's even less
maybe it's C's. I think you're right.
That's
how I graduated.
It's even less demand. But so we have them fly. They're gonna wreck. It's just part for the course. anytime you're learning a new skill, you're never going to be the best immediately. As one of my favorite cartoon dogs said, sucking at something is the first step to being kind of good at something.
That's true.
Jake the dog.
Jake the dog. Yep. Voiced by DiMaggio, who did Bender from Futurama.
I might have the kids fly some of these beach scenarios this year. This is kind of difficult.
It is. It's really it's really good though, the way it's laid out. It looks awesome.
Kudos to Moose. Our
big shout out to Optimus.
Our resident race course maker.
He did a good job with it. Wow, it looks really good. I'm just so.
All right, so we got a C that time. C minus.
Hey, look, the C got the degree.
Graduated magna cum laude. No big deal.
And that's why you're our VP. That's why you're a founder, Alex.
That's exactly what a robot would say. Just kidding.
Bots in town.
The going joke.
No, well done. So, okay, so now you have a baseline. And then now we look for improvement over time.
Yep. I can't wait to... I might see about recording one of the kids' flights so you guys can see. Like, I'll record their first one, and then, like, I'll record the last one they do. And, like, you'll just see how absolutely insane the kids are. Because, like, I feel like I'm going at a decently moderate pace here.
Sure.
In a drone I've never flown before with, courses I've never done. But, like, they'll take what I'm doing here, and then by the end of, like, 4 days, they'll be just ripping through this stuff. It makes me sad.
It makes me sad. It shouldn't. It should make you proud. Like, we're giving them this opportunity to...
Two things can be true.
Do something like this that they're probably going to wind up having a career in later on, because these careers are becoming more and more prevalent.
Ooh, Moose added a little slalom section in here, I see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
A plus, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
No, but those kids will fly that in like 30 seconds.
But still, like, even from your own development as a pilot, like, really impressive. Look at that. Very nice.
Moving right along.
Well done.
We're at the pier slalom.
Heath, looking a little smoky on the beach. Who knew Miami was so close to Canada? Yep, it has a little bit of environment kicked up, so a little bit of sand and haze in the air. Look at these boats. I think it's pretty cool, the orientation between the FPV view and then the pilot view, and still able to see the gates that you have to go through. Like, that's pretty cool. It's super handy. The banking does look really good on this. That was a good control through there, bud. That looks good.
Oop, I missed.
Yep, little. There you go. Oop, yep. You can always back up and grab the next one. And for those that can't see because my head's blocking most of it, there is an indicator on the left that has essentially your prompts for the next gate to hit, so you know if you've missed any of them, that there's a way to get back to it. And then that circle fills in as you get closer to it.
It's true.
68 out of 500. Very nice. Well done.
We're looking for ducks.
Nice. So how do you feel about it so far?
About the brink or about
Both.
Well, I've never flown the real life Brink, but based off of what I know about our sim, it should fly similar to this. Like I said, we don't own every drone that exists, so we usually rely on a lot of feedback from folks. Oh, is this duck over here? We got 2 ducks sunning.
2 ducks sunning.
They're sunning.
But no, that's a good point, though, Bo. Like, although we do not own every one of these drones, we do get an opportunity to fly a good portion of them. And we use the OEM specs and speak with the folks that do own those and take that feedback that we get, and we process that feedback immediately and add it in to enhance our ability to make this as lifelike as possible.
All right. Well, I do not apparently know what my capture button is anymore, so I need to check that out real quick and see if I unpaired that for some reason.
So that's actually a really good point here. Is the mapping of the controller. That'd be kind of a neat thing to show, is how, depending on what controller you use, whether it's a DJI or an Xbox or PlayStation or whatever controller that may be, we're adaptable to almost any controller that's out there. The Orca, there's several others, but this is what that looks like when you map out the controller.
Yeah, so since we've never really shown this on stream before, you'll see that I'm a filthy casual and play with a PlayStation 5 controller, and I always will. You'll never convince me otherwise. It's the closest form factor to what I know. That being said, you can come through here and say that you want to fly mode 2, which is essentially the sticks swapped from here. Like, your right stick would be doing what your left stick is doing. So, like, what you can do is throttle up, you do up on right stick, throttle down, down on right stick, yaw left, yaw right, pitch forward,
yaw all right,
roll left, roll right. And then now when we go in, I want to show something just in case you guys do this thing before, we do anything else. When you go into the scenario, because you've mirrored the sticks, they will be backwards on the bottom of the screen, or at least they should be. It's something that I noticed the other day when we were messing around. So if you look at the little arrows, when I use the controller and put them down into the center, they go out and to the side. So you have to swap what you would normally do to get it to turn on. Now, the reason a lot of people enjoy flying this way is because it's more of a traditional, like, first-person shooter kind of setup for your sticks, because on most FPS games, your right stick is what you look around with, and the left stick is what you use to actually move through space. Which is a lot easier for a lot of people who are younger because they grew up playing games. And there's been a big amount of people, not a non-minute amount of people that like to fly with the sticks inverted like this. Main reason I think is because of the swap between older folks using the drones versus younger guys getting into it. A lot of your police force folks that I've met choose to fly mode 2, I believe is what it's referred to as, for the quick mapping. But yeah, so
Stu said that is a bug we need to work out in the hardware engine drone emulation systems. Interesting. See, always developing, always enhancing, and making this as good of a simulator as we could possibly get it to make it the most lifelike.
But yeah, so that's your little tidbit. You can map any of the buttons to pretty much anything. So it really just depends on like what your use case is and like whether or what you like. But it does save. I kind of can fly either way. But so say that you find yourself needing to practice flying the traditional way, which is original flavor.
Sure.
You can just click our restore defaults button and boom, it's all back to normal.
Oh, very cool. Good to know.
Easily peasily.
I think that's fantastic. Great information.
Another thing you can do with this is mess with the input curves. This is a little bit more advanced than I get with it. But yeah, so if you feel like messing with your telemetry data like this, you can. Other thing that you can do is calibrate, and you can set your dead zones as well. Yeah.
Oh, Maverick Van Buren. I like that.
I mean, I did get Maverick at my APSA Beeper course, but I digress.
Now Stu's breaking out the Reading Rainbow lyrics.
Yeah. I could fly, whatever. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over within the sim. Thanks for coming to the beach with us.
Yeah, enjoyed our little beach vacation. Got to learn something. It was educational as heck. Got to fly around and race around the beach.
It's true.
Yeah, if you ever have questions about the sim, questions about your setup in particular, there are no questions too small. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you again to our 306 subscribers. It's really cool that we were able to break over that 300 mark and continue to grow. So make sure that you're sharing it with your friends. We have a plethora of knowledge in here. We also just uploaded a 30-minute video of in-sim flight with the different scenarios. So take full advantage of that. Take a little tour around. Zephyr team goes to Real Beach when? Come pick me up. Let's go. Actually, I live right by Revere Beach. So everybody come on up to Boston. Let's go.
I hate the beach though.
All right,
I love the ocean. I hate the beach.
See, I'm the opposite. I love the beach. I hate the ocean. It scares the crap out of me.
I think it's why people should respect it more and stop putting their trash and stuff in it.
I just don't want to eat food. But that leads us to our last little tidbit. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure that you share the stream. Thanks for letting us do what we do each week. Next week is kind of up in the air. Bo will be at the STEM camp, so may be able to do a little bit of live from there, but we will see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Check out the rest of our videos that we have uploaded, and continue to be awesome to one another. Bo, any other parting thoughts?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
Enjoy your vacations. I know that many people are doing that now.
If you are vacationing with a drone, make sure you know the rules and regs around.
Don't be stupid.
Don't do anything stupid.
Anyway, K love you. Bye.
K love you. Bye. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth.